Do you have bad habits that you want to get rid of or good habits that you want to start? Well, we're going to talk about it on this next episode of Chick Chat and Chill. So join us in just a couple of moments and we're going to help you out with those good and bad habits. Hello, welcome to Chick Chat and Chill. I am Laura Fickett, your co-host, the owner of Fickett Financial Education and Business Coaching, where I love to help people make more money, manage it better, retain it to build their wealth. Everybody is struggling with finances, it seems. And so if you want a free consultation, we can just talk about it, see how I can help. I would love to do that over the phone with you. Doesn't matter where you are in the country. Just log on to the computer, find me, Fickett Financial Education and Business Coaching, and we'll chat. But before we get into this topic of bad habits and good habits, let me introduce my co-host, Antoinette.
Hi, so I'm Antoinette. I'm the owner of Pixel This. It's a full-service design firm. But we do have forms and functions. We help with anything visual. And let's face it, as much as you want to say it's not, the world is visual. If you don't put a good look out there to represent your company or your brand or your service, you're getting overlooked. And you're not, the whole point, you want good attention. You want the right attention from the right target audience. And we can do that. But let's dive into the habits. So this is exciting. So I think coming on the new year, I think a lot of people are going to start thinking about I know I've been reflecting in my life, what are things that, nobody sets out and goes, oh, I want to start a bad habit.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that would be fun.
No, but I think people start out with something like whatever, as an indulgent or a way to, let's say they're overeating or something like that. They'll be like, oh, I'll make this. It's been a hard week. I deserve something. And it starts out as an indulgent, or I had a rough day at work. Let me put on the TV. And the next thing you know, you're watching 6 hours a night. And it develops, kind of slowly. I don't think anyone sets out that way, but before you know it, it's overtaking your life.
I think it's far easier. The problem is it's far easier to create a bad habit than a good one.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you have dessert one night and then you're like, well, I kind of want dessert the next night. And then it becomes a habit. And it's not a habit that you even focused on or planned or thought about, but these bad habits just kind of creep into your life. And if you're playing Candy Crush now while you're watching this, you probably have a bad habit.
But I think the thing is when you're evaluating your habits, every habit came out of something. There is a need or thing that it's filling, A lot
of it's boredom.
Boredom is a huge one. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes people stressful eat. Sometimes people, they end up yelling at their kids way too much, and unfortunately it has become a habit where every little thing sets you off, and that stress. It also could be, procrastination, which you're putting off doing stuff. So I think there's a lot of reasons, but it's kind of like when you're talking about addictions. You could sit there and try to stop the addiction, but you have to find the reason behind it. So you have to find the reason. Why are you playing Candy Crush? Are you bored? Are you trying to avoid something that you should be doing? Are you
low energy?
Low energy, yeah. Are you maybe you're not getting enough sleep at night and you'd rather, or sometimes people, they if you ask anybody, how was your week? It's busy. But you're making yourself busy just to make yourself feel better that you're busy, but playing Candy Crush for 4 hours or watching TV for 4 hours or doing these things isn't busy.
You know what I think is sad? Every time my phone updates, it adds games. I have to delete them.
Oh, I've never noticed that.
Yeah, it adds games onto my phone. I'm I do not want to play this thing with a king or whatever. I don't know what they are. I delete all the games off my phone. But every time it goes through an update, these little icons appear. These games that are just automatically downloading.
That's strange.
I know, because they want people to be addicted to their phones even more than people already are. And so I have a couple tools for people. I coach people in order to be successful in business, in life, in goals, and all kinds of things, you have to create good habits. And so one of the things I tell people is for 7 days, change your routine. So if you have some sort of routine, maybe the first thing you do when you get up in the morning is reach for your phone and you scroll through your phone. You change your routine for 7 days. And the key is anybody can commit for 7 days. I'm not asking them to change the routine for the rest of their life, which a lot of times they do, but I'm asking them just for a week. Do it for a week. So instead, maybe they get up and they read a devotional, or they get up and they hop right into the shower, or maybe they go sit outside, or, they just change it. And then when we come back 7 days later, I say to them, well, what did you do? They tell me, and did you like it? And they say, yeah, you know what? I really like this new routine better. But if we didn't do this stupid little change exercise, then they would continue to reach for their phone right when they get up. And should they fall back like a month later and reach for their phone, it'll be so easy to get back into that habit. So that 7 day, I think it's fantastic. If there's something you want to change, you can always change back. Like if you don't like it, you can always go back to what you were doing. You're very good at it because you've been doing it.
Yeah.
So you can always go back. But for a week, just try to change something. And then the other thing I just discovered last week, I went out Black Friday shopping with one of my daughters. And I had kind of had a stressful week because my other daughter got bit by a spider and ended up in the hospital. And then we had Thanksgiving. And so by Friday, I was tired. And I didn't really want to go shopping because there's a lot of people that go out shopping the day after Thanksgiving, and I don't like a lot of people. But my daughter's like, come on, I don't want to just sit around. I want to get out into the fresh air. I want to walk around, and I'm like, I'm tired. I'm just tired. But once we got there and we were walking around, I got more energy.
Yeah.
And so that's the key too. You may think I'm too tired to exercise, or I'm too tired to go take the dog for a walk, or I'm too tired to do this. But when you do that, you will have more energy.
Yeah.
So some of the things that are making you tired or making you bored are the lack of exercise or the lack of hobbies.
Yeah.
So it's actually those bad habits are working against you to create new good habits.
Yeah. Another kind of tip I have too. So like I said, there you have to find we're talking about the trigger. So all habits kind of have a trigger, the resource, and then the action. So if you get home and let's say you're like, okay, as soon as I turn on the TV, I want to snack on chips. So it's okay. Or chocolate. So you put on TV, you get, you start salivating for chocolate, you go get the chocolate, and then now you're eating it. So you have to break the loop. So either you
eat the chocolate first.
Yeah.
Always. I'm just kidding.
Remember the topic. No, but it's one of those, so you have to kind of break the cycle. So for example, maybe instead of turning on the TV, you do something else. Or if the chocolate's not in the house, you're not going to be able to eat it. If you the thing is with habits, we've done them so long, we don't even think about them. It's just involuntary. So if, for example, let's say you're trying to break the TV habit, like I watch too much TV. After you're done watching TV, unplug it. Because now all of a sudden there's this whole extra step involved, and it's not as easy as you're laying on the couch, the remote's there.
Click.
Now it's like, oh, I got to get up. And then maybe when you're up, or maybe put a book nearby or something. The whole point is if you're trying to break a habit, if you figure out what's causing it, replace it with something. So if your trigger, if you're eating and your trigger is in hunger, then figure out, okay, what are other ways I could reduce stress, or what are other things I could do that would help with boredom, or, whatever. But when you're eliminating it, if you don't have something else to get, help with that trigger, you're never going to, eliminate the habit.
Well, that's why I gave out in a networking group I belong to, and I put my phone in a little sack. It's my sleeping sack for the phone, because when it dings and it makes noise and whatever, if it's not in that little baggie, then I can just easily reach for it. But if I'm working on something and it dings and does whatever, and it's in that little baggie, then I have to take that extra step. Do I really want to take it out of its bag? I know it seems silly, it take 1 second to take it out of the bag, but it stops me. And I think, do I really want to? I put it in the bag because I didn't want to be disturbed because I'm working on something. And so that pattern interruption, like you're talking about, it can be that's a silly little thing.
Yeah.
Or unplugging the TV, but it can create better habits for us because it does a pattern interruption. Just like deleting the games on your phone. If you have a phone, like if you have a game that you've been playing every day, you're like, oh, well, I am on a 365-day streak. Ask yourself, like, how is this bettering my life? Like, is anybody going to give me a Nobel Prize because I am the top whatever on this stupid game? Like, you're not getting any prize. You're not getting any recognition. You're not getting any money. It's like a dopamine hit that you're getting. That's what you're getting, but you can get that in so many other places. I challenge you, delete the game.
Yeah.
Like, you'll sweat about it first because some people are like, oh, but I've worked so hard. What have you worked hard on?
But the thing is,
you've wasted so much time.
Most games anyway, like you can save progress through Google or Facebook, whatever. They usually have a way to save progress.
But what are you progressing towards?
But my point is, if they're freaking out about deleting it, delete it. Because if you have to play it again, like, oh my God, you could reinstall it, but it's going to be, again, a pattern interrupt, and it's not going to be as easy. You know what I mean? And it's going to get to the point, and it might make you start thinking like, you know what? I really do need to start doing this, or I did want to, start organizing my house or working on this or working on that. A lot of these things are just ways to keep yourself busy from what you really should be doing. So most of the times, if you think it's a bad habit, it's because it's keeping you from either making strides in your life or obtaining better habits, like, getting healthier or improving your relationships or doing better in your finances. Like, bad habits are usually the things keeping away from that. I mean, that's a good rule of thumb. Like, is being the best, whatever, master at this game helping in any of those key pillars in your life? If it's not, then get rid of it.
That word progress, people are like, oh, I made so much progress. Progress towards what? Like, if you plant a seed and it starts to sprout, and then like you keep watering it and nurturing it and it starts to flower and creates like a vegetable, whatever, you've made progress towards feeding yourself with that tomato or whatever it is. Like, you haven't made any progress towards what is what I say to people when they say to me like, oh, I made so much progress on this game. Progress towards what? And a lot of these games are never ending. Yeah. It's not like when we were younger and you would defeat the boss and the game would be over. Like, these games are just never ending. Like, you're not progressing towards this big boss fight and then you win. Yeah. You're just progressing towards nothing. So that word, when people say to me, oh, I've got so much progress, I'm like, progress towards what? Yeah. And they can't answer it. Yeah. Oh, well, now I have a higher score. And so, like... progress towards what? Yeah. And bad habits, though, like our phone, and I'm the first to admit it, like, and I don't think I have as many bad habits on the phone as most people do, but that thing is addicting. Like, it's so addicting. When was the last time you left the house without it? I know, but you still have an iPad, so like you can't. You're not completely leaving without technology.
No, like, I've left without, and because
exceptions to every rule, and Antoinette is one. But like people get
most don't.
People get seriously like panic attack anxiety. Well, they can't find it, or they lost it, or like they left without it.
Well, I came home to that. Like I called you. Where were you? I was just like, I'm sorry, but, me and my mom were moving. I knew I wasn't going to be taking calls. Like, I was gone for several hours.
Checked out. But, I mean, I can see where your friends might panic because, if you go missing,
they might be thinking
cross-country
trip with someone I just met.
Exactly. It's not like, which I'm sure she's just reading or something. Like, no.
She's a reasonable
person. She probably put herself in danger. Like, it's true.
It's funny. Maybe that makes sense because anytime my mom would leave a message and I didn't pick up, she'd be like, oh my God, I hope you're not dying in a ditch somewhere. Please call me back, please.
Your poor mom has PTSD.
Probably.
Like, honest.
Yeah. Yeah, the teen years were rough on her.
And she had multiple children.
Oh my God.
Poor mom.
But I think another thing with habits too is habits actually define who you are more than people realize. If you have a habit of smoking, you're a smoker. If you have a habit of drinking every day, you're an alcoholic. If you have a habit of eating all the time, now you're obese, or, whatever it is, but they really define who you are. So I kind of want to dive into this a little quickly, because you could arm yourself to, I'm not going to smoke. But then if somebody asks you, like, offers you a cigarette, and you go, I'm trying to quit, you're still identifying as a smoker.
Right.
You have to say,
I don't smoke.
I don't smoke. Mm-hmm. Like, you really have to change that identity. And you can do this because sometimes people have a really bad disconnect. Like, if you're, I don't know, let's say trying to lose weight again, and you look in the mirror and you're really large and you're like, oh my God, but if you're telling yourself you're lazy, you're fat, you're always going to see yourself as lazy and fat. So you have to create little tiny things. And I'm really big on rewarding yourself for, you don't have to go, I want to lose 200 pounds by the end of the year. No, like, just say, just forget all that. You just say, I want to take a 10-minute walk after one meal every day. You could start off really, the smaller you start off, that you can do it, the better. Don't make some astronomical thing that you're going to really be struggling to do. Make it small, and then say after that, like, wow, I exercised today. Wow, I did this today. And then maybe make it after a month of doing this straight, you go to that I don't know, buy a new outfit for yourself, or, you do something like that. You're working towards a reward. And you can also do the reverse too. Like, for every day that you don't take that 10-minute walk, you now have to write a $50 check to a charity that you hate. Ugh. And, that might also push you to, it's 10 minutes.
Your financial coach does not recommend writing a $100 check.
No, but I'm saying it's going to make you go.
Yeah.
Or,
I did that for a while to get back into exercising. Like, I like taking showers. I don't understand teenagers that, like, don't take showers and stuff like that. Like, I would take a couple a day. I just like the water and the warmth, and, like, I just like it all. I'm a Pisces, maybe. I don't know. But I did, like, I need to get back into exercise. And I refused to take a shower until I sweat enough where I need one. And it was like, I needed to work out, or else I couldn't take a shower.
Oh, so that would work. Yeah.
It's forcing me, like, there's something that I love, but in order to get there, I have to do something I don't love.
Yeah.
And so that's another, like, mind trick.
Yeah.
I find it works for me. And you just have to find out what works for you. But if there's something in your life that you want to change and you haven't been able to, there's so many, like, the tips and tricks and like pattern interruption, or like I just said, don't let yourself do what you like to do until you change what you don't like to do. I mean, and the time is now. Just start small, like Antoinette said, because you can't keep doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. And life is working against you. The phone is working against everybody. Like the phone, or sugar was a habit we were talking about before we started the podcast, about how difficult it is to cut sugar out. Like, I go low sugar, and then a holiday comes up and I'm like, I like pumpkin pie, and I eat pumpkin pie. And then it's like so hard to get off of sugar again. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I'm having withdrawals days later. I'm like, had to put like grapes and bananas. I'm like, okay, I have to go back to natural sugars, like, to kind of wean me off of this processed sugar. It's just unbelievable. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. Like, you have to enjoy the ups and the downs of life.
Yeah.
But if you can start developing these good habits, there's no successful person in the world that hasn't developed good habits. There's a book I read that was great, Atomic Habits. Like, they all talk about putting good habits in your life. So make the commitment to start good ones and stop bad ones.
There was a quote I heard many, many years ago, and it might have been from that book, or if it's a different author, I apologize. But it was something that we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our habits. So, for example, Like there's a lot of people that have these dreams like, oh, I want to be a actress or whatever, or I want to be a musician. And they think in their head like, oh, I could write music, I could do this, I could do that. But do you have the discipline to every night, nights, weekends, go to bars and work for free and do, you know what I mean? Like they're habits that like if you look at the Beatles, the amount of hours that they put in before they even got remotely popular. I mean, there's the once in a, like even you look at, let's say, Bill Gates or
People
something like
success,
that.
But
they
don't
see the
failure.
success. But if you look at his life story of how much computer time he spent, like in his like tween years, like forget, like he was already a guru before he even got there. Or Steve Jobs, like he used to break into like a computer lab at night. Like, I mean, these are crazy stories because they put in the hours and the time. Most people don't dedicate, 80 hours a week towards this thing. They think, oh, I'd love to, I'll play with my guitar, on Sundays and, hopefully I'll, get a gig and be great. No,
it's not. You can't take a pill. You can't take a shot. You can't, like a lot of things, you have to develop good habits. If you develop a habit of reading for 15 minutes a day, you can read all of Shakespeare's works in an entire year. That, like when somebody told me that, it blew my mind. Now, not that you want to read all of Shakespeare's works, but you can read so many books if you just read for 15 minutes a day. If you practice a language for 15 minutes a day, by the end of the year, you will be somewhat fluent, if not completely fluent. And there's all kinds of statistics that if you just make good daily habits, then you'll be so much better off than the rest of the population in whatever area that you decided to study. And so, the other thing is that people are wasting their time. And I don't understand where the disconnect is that time is not abundant. We could all be dying tomorrow. But they're wasting their time making progress in areas that don't matter and not making progress in areas that do matter.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure how to get to people, how to motivate people to really just start with one good habit. And then when that starts working, then go to this, make a second good habit.
Yeah.
And the more good habits you make, the less bad habits you'll have because there's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
We all have bad habits. The internet was talking about how we don't even know that we have some habits. Try walking into a dark room and not doing what you would do. What do you do when you walk into a dark room?
You flip a light switch.
Flip a light switch. You don't even know.
Yeah.
That's a habit.
Like in my new house, they put the fan switch first and the light switch second, and it's infuriating because that's not what it's supposed to happen. But, it's still to this day, but my whole life, the light switch has been first, and it's just still irking me.
Or if the door opens and they put the light switch behind the door.
Oh my God, idiots. Yeah.
People don't understand. You have a lot of habits in your life. You might think I don't have a lot of habits. You do.
Yeah.
The way you wake up, the way you go to bed.
Do you remember driving to work or the grocery store? Do you remember anything? You literally get in your car and you make the same choices to get you there.
Even the way you put toilet paper on a roll is a habit. It has to be over. I mean, let's be honest.
To me, I don't care, honestly.
The way you brush your teeth is a habit.
Yeah.
The way your dental hygiene, if you have it or you don't, even if you don't have it, it's a habit.
Yeah.
There are so many habits in your life that you should be evaluating.
Yeah.
So that 7-second one, I want to teach everybody a procrastination exercise too, because we were talking about procrastinating.
Yeah.
So it's a really simple one. It's right on your hand, okay? So if you're procrastinating about something, it could be something stupid like cleaning out the junk drawer or your closet or whatever, but it could be something really big. Maybe you need to write a letter or you need to file a petition or I don't know. The pointer finger, it tells you what's the problem? What am I procrastinating on? Okay. Then the middle finger is the pain because it's the middle finger. Why? So Tony Robbins talks about everybody does things either to avoid pain or increase pleasure.
Yeah.
And I've thought about my life and I think it's completely true. So what's the pain? Why are you not doing it? Oh, I'm not good at organizing or I hate cleaning or what's the pain? Then the ring finger is the pleasure. I have a ring. gift my husband gave me. So that's why it's the pleasure. What's the pleasure? If it got done, what would be the pleasure? Oh, I'd feel so relieved. It would feel so organized. I'd be able to find my clothes. Like this would be over. It's been hanging on me for so long. A lot of the times we procrastinate on things and they weigh us down.
Yeah.
And so then it would be like a weight lifted off of our shoulder. And then the last part is like, am I going to do it or dump it? Well, if the pain is more important, then you're never going to do it. Just take it off the list. Like I was going to court with my ex and it was consuming my life. And so I said, forget it. I got to dump it. Like I'm not going to, can't keep this cycle going. No matter how much money, whatever, I just can't keep it going. But 9 times out of 10, the reason why it's on your list is because you want to do it. And so the last part is like schedule it. Yeah. If you put something in your schedule to do, you are more likely to do it than to not do it. So it's just a little simple, just use your 4 fingers. Like, what am I procrastinating on? What's the pain? What's the pleasure? Which is more important? And do I dump it or do I schedule it?
And I think to catapult that, like when you schedule it, like you don't have to do the whole thing all at once. No. I think that's what the problem is. People are like, I want to get in shape. I want to clean the house. I want to do like
10 minutes.
10 minutes. If you do 10 minutes a day or, and then next thing you know, like after 10 minutes, you might actually be like, you know what, I could probably do another 10, but you don't have to. You just schedule the 10. You could stop at any time, but at least give yourself the 10. And, it was like that whole thing I read once where like, if you want to chop down a tree, if you go outside and chop it 3 times, eventually the thing's going to come down.
If you're not a reader, find a book that maybe you're interested in with short chapters. It's like the easiest way to get back into reading because you're like, oh, well, the chapter's only 3 pages. Then you can move up to bigger chapter books. Yeah. like I'm teaching kids.
Dick and Jane go to college.
It's true though. Like I got burnt out about reading, and so I picked up a book that had really short chapters, like to get me back into it. Because sometimes I burn out with the information going into my head.
And another thing I just have to bring up, like the people you surround yourself with is so vital to your lifestyle. People don't realize. You have to be really selective about the core people that you surround yourself with. You could be friends with anybody. I have, friends from all walks of life. But the people that I really draw close to me are people that I really respect, that I like, I respect, I feel I could learn from. These are people that I want to keep close to me. But if, let's say you're trying to, I don't know, eat healthy and everyone that's around you eats junk food, they're overweight, out to dinner every night. It doesn't bode well. And you're not going to have the support system around you. You're not going to, you're just going to stay the same path, unfortunately.
They do say like when people are trying to kick an addiction, they can go into rehab and they can get completely clean and all kinds of stuff. But if they go back into the environment where there are people using the same kind of whatever, alcohol, drugs, whatever, then they're more likely to revert back into there. But if they move into a different geography, a different environment, then
it makes a big difference. Again, because the trigger might be them walking in the front door. If they walk in a different front door, all of a sudden you'd be surprised it's the same action, but it's not there. That trigger isn't there because it's not the same house.
Yeah, you have to change your environment. I can't believe a half an hour just went by that quick.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're getting the hook over here. My goodness. Antoinette and I could talk forever. And I'm so glad that you guys like join us every single week and you listen to all the topics. And if you want to comment and there's any topic you want us to talk about, we are just chicks chatting over here. And the next topic, Antoinette, why don't you tell what the next topic is?
So the next topic is just going to be our regular chick chat where no topic or
we're just chicks chatting.
Yeah. So those are actually such fun episodes because we just walk in the studio. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. And conversation leads us. Usually it's hysterical. And for me, I think they're the easiest to tape because they're just like so fun.
There's a really high chance I might be talking about perimenopause because I'm like out of control over here in this body. Like... given day.
No, but it is one of those, or, you never know. Like, it depends what happens in the morning or the week, whatever. But those episodes are so much fun. So definitely tune in. That's good. It's not going to be one you're going to want to miss. But always remember, we love having you with us. The whole point is that we laugh and learn and do life together. And remember, never stop laughing.
And never stop learning. We'll see you soon.